My stage name is Remele Sparks, and yes, Remele is actually my maiden name. I've always loved my name because a lot of people couldn't pronounce it. So I figured when I got married, I kept my name, and I was like, it's going to become something. And I was already an artist, so I was like, I want to keep it somehow. And Sparks is because I love lights. So I always incorporate lights in all my performances. Named Lady Borgia. I saw a little ad and she was like, I need help, any kind of performer. So I just said, I want to be a stage kitten. I was willing to work my way up. And once I saw how it was, I was like, okay, I'm ready to perform. So yeah, that's how I started. Each performance is different for me. I'm one who, I don't have to be pretty all the time. I can be scary, creepy, or try to transform myself to look like someone else if I can. I mean, I did the Grinch, so that was all creepy, green. I will use body paint, regular makeup, whatever I can. That's what I try and do. I usually start with an idea for a performance. So if somebody gives me a theme of what the show's going to be, for instance, this next show coming up is villains, and I want to do Medusa, so I kind of went with, I wanted a bodysuit. I want to go to the last thing looking like a snake. So I'm thinking a creepy face, contacts, I want to be scary. I don't want to be a pretty Medusa, I want people to feel creeped out but mesmerized and can't turn their face away when they're like, oh my god, that thing is weird, but it's awesome looking. So far I'd have to say my Grinch. My Grinch act was hilarious. It was fun. I'm not one of the strongest of dancers, so I try and do more of theatrical way when I do stuff. And our next one that's coming up is a Ghostbusters theme. So I looked up to see what a lot of people have done already. And that's one thing, I always do my research because I prefer not to copy anybody. But if I do and it's an accident, it's an accident. But with that song, Ghostbusters, you really can't dance sexy. So I wanted to take it to a different level and create a skit with it instead. But we're still stripping, so we're still gonna get naked. This is for someone else's performance, Jacqueline and Chaton. We have a clock here that I created for her. And then this is a big pod that she comes out of, and this is her costume here that was airbrushed. So she sewed and made everything, but the only thing to make it pop was to go ahead and airbrush it because you really can't buy that off the rack looking like that. My one secret is if you can't find it anywhere, I can paint it. So that's what I do. It's like I know I can paint it and make my costumes 100% original.
It's Jacqueline Chaton, and obviously I like cats. I know I wanted some kind of cat to be in my name. So fortunately and unfortunately in the burlesque world, there's a lot of people named Kitty, Kitty something, something Kitty, and I didn't want to be just another something Kitty. So Chaton is cat in French, and I kind of chose Jacqueline. My mom, when I was little, always used to say my name in a little French accent. She'd go, "Oh, my little Jacqueline," and I always thought it was really cute. It just kind of brought good memories. So, well, I sing. So I actually started by wanting to sing. I went and saw my first burlesque show. Saw a friend of mine perform, and there was a singer, and she sang this really pretty song, and she took her dress off, and I just thought it was really pretty, and I went, I could totally do that better. So I came up with an idea. I picked a song, I made a dress, and went and auditioned to be part of the next show for this group that I had seen. Got in. The producer loved me. She taught me a lot, and it just kind of progressed from there. So I started out singing and only started stripping maybe a year later. To create my mood, usually everything's always red, so I guess I'm just always in a red mood. Okay. For stage, it's MAC, and MAC always. There's nothing that covers better than MAC, and unfortunately it's not the best for your skin, but you put it on and you wash it off right when it's done. But a lot of it, that's the secret to it. A lot of makeup. My feathers, my boa, my rhinestones. I'm not a professionally trained dancer, so I kind of rely on really elaborate costumes and kind of wowing people by putting way too many rhinestones on things and having the biggest and the prettiest, fluffiest feathers and stuff like that. Most everything just kind of revolves around the feather fan dancing and or singing. My favorite part about burlesque is that everyone is beautiful. It doesn't matter what size you are, how what color skin you have, if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you're a boy trying to be a girl, if you're a girl trying to be a boy. It doesn't matter. You're beautiful, and it's an artist community that really accepts whatever your kink is, whatever you think is pretty or interesting or cool. They accept it, and they're okay with it, and they enjoy it. So that's what I like. E6000 is an industrial strength glue, which unfortunately is very highly carcinogenic. It's for the rhinestones. So most of the rhinestones that are on all my costumes are with the E6000. I'm moving on to different glues to attach them that are not so bad for you, that won't give you cancer. But glue, hot glue gun, Gemtac, E6000.